Today we're going over the update of the pistol brace ban, and I challenge you to say that 3 times fast because I have screwed up this intro like 8 times so far. So we're coming up to the end of the grace period for the pistol brace ban, and you having to Form 1 all of your braces or get rid of them or burn them or whatever you're gonna do. And wanted to give you guys an update of where we're at. A lot of people are inquiring about where the lawsuits are. Is there any changes? And unfortunately, to be completely transparent with you, there aren't a ton of changes, but what little there are, I'm gonna go over in this video, and I'm gonna give you 4 different options of what you can do. So let's go over where we're at. There are still lawsuits going on. They're going back and forth. Unfortunately, the court system is not fast. It's very slow, and usually this kind of stuff takes a very long time. To give you some idea of the length of time, they're just now concluding the bump stock stuff, which was multiple years ago. So hoping this doesn't take that long, and hopefully we get some answers here soon, but it does take time. Lawsuits are still pending. They're working on now trying to get that extension period. They were supposed to go over a meeting, but because of that mass shooting, everything was delayed and pushed back. Who would have guessed? And things are still kind of on the back burner right now on that side. So they're still trying to get things pushed in before this actual timeline comes in. Don't ask me the date because I have absolutely no clue when we all become felons, but it's coming very soon. I think it's next month. So things seem to be going back and forth. The ATF will win a little battle here, and then we'll win a little battle here, but there really hasn't been any heavy swaying on one or the other. Me personally, I really don't see how this is going to go completely through. I don't see how this is going to work out on their side, just because I don't know how you can just completely ban something that you just previously said is okay and for us to all purchase, which is more expensive than a stock, and then change your mind later to cause us even more problems and money and potential lawsuits and fines and jail time and everything else. So the goal of the extension is just to give us a longer grace period for these lawsuits to continue to go through and us to be able to make a final decision on this. Unfortunately, with the time closing, I'm a little bit afraid that that grace period and that extension is not going to actually go through, and they're gonna start the process when they said they wanted to, but hopefully, fingers crossed, that still does go through. Just kind of waiting to hear and listening, and if anything changes, I'll give you guys an update as soon as possible. So now let's go over the 4 options that you can do. These are not legal advice. This is not me telling you what you have to do. Do what is best for you and your family. What I recommend doing is praying about this and then talking to your spouse and your family and then praying about it some more with them. Remember, do what is best for your family in your situation. Just because what might work for me might not work for you, and I'm not going to say this is what you have to do because this is what I'm doing. Me and my family have prayed about this and decided what we're gonna do, and we are gonna hold steady with that. And then hopefully this video will give you some insight to be able to help you make a better decision on what you and your family should do. And always remember, God is in control. So now let's go over your 4 options. So the very first option is just do exactly what they want you to do and Form 1 this and turn it into an SBR. Go through the process. It'll take anywhere from a month to probably 6 months now, with probably a higher rise in Form 1s and Form 4s. So you can then just turn this into an SBR, throw a stock on it, Form 1 it, and then you would be good to go and basically be doing exactly what they want you to do. Now, the only thing I see a problem with that, and what worries me, is I see them using that in court and saying, okay, why, if they think this is such a problem and against the Constitution, why is everybody just now Form 1ing all their stuff and going along with it if they don't think it's right? So I can see that potentially hurting us in the long run with lawsuits and different options of us fighting it. But again, I'm just going over the different options that you have. Now, number 2, you can just remove this brace and then run your gun like this. This now makes this a legal pistol, and you don't have a stock brace or any kind of confusion on the end of your gun. Obviously, this is kind of silly because now you have just your buffer tube sticking out, and you can one-hand pistol your AR pistol. This is the option I see most people going while they're waiting for a decision, just because they're able to easily slip this off and then be in compliance at least while they wait and see what happens with lawsuits and not have to worry that they're going to go to federal prison for 10 years. Now going to number 3, and a little bit more bold of a strategy, you can go and just take your stock and throw it here. Ooh. almost did a whoopsie, almost became a felon. And you can just say screw it and take that chance and just create the SBR and just rock it the way it probably should be, because any laws on guns are an infringement and unconstitutional. So that is an option if you absolutely want to, because realistically, if we aren't created felons by the pistol brace law, it's just going to be the next law that they create out of the air because they felt like it. in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road. Who knows when it's going to be, but they are pretty consistent in the fact that they don't want us to have firearms, and they are trying to take them away from us by either just straight creating laws to take them away, like New York and California, or make them really, really difficult to obtain, or make it kind of silly to actually use in these senses. And honestly, this is probably something a handful of you are already doing that live behind enemy lines in some of those states that don't allow certain things just because they make it so difficult to actually follow the law that you just say, screw it. I'm somehow breaking the law, so I might as well just have exactly what I want and not try to stay in compliance constantly because you guys are confusing and you make it very difficult and you want to be unconstitutional. So your number 4 option is just put your pistol brace back here on your gun and do absolutely nothing and continue about your day. So these are the 4 options for you. Again, this is not legal advice. This is not telling you what you should do. I think you need to pray about this, and I think you need to discuss this with your family and find out what is best for you and your family. I just wanted to give you the multiple different options there are to be in compliance, to do another route if you want to, but I just wanted to give you the options of what is out there and let you make a decision based off of what is best for you and your family. So a couple other points that I want to go over, one of them being common use. Hear this word used a lot, maybe you don't know what it means. Basically, if something is used so much, which would turn it into commonly used, you can't put it on like the NFA or anything. Like if rifles are used so much and there's so many of them, it's a common use item, they can't be on the NFA. So people have tried this with pistol braces, or at least have used it as an argument and say, okay, there are an estimate by the ATF standards of 3 to 7 million pistol braces, which is truly probably about 10 to 40 million in circulation, but 3 to 7 million is quite a few. So you would think that at some point that would be common use, which would make this not be regulated and we would be able to use them. I personally don't know what prongs have to be met to make this a common use item, or how many that has to be, but I would imagine it gets pretty close. Now, another option would be if everybody SBRs these and Form 1s them and creates now 7 million more SBRs, would that then create SBRs as common use and then make them fall under that category? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's working for the pistol braces, so I don't necessarily want to bank on that strategy and test it and see what happens by losing more laws on the chance that you could gain some. But what we're really hoping is that because they've been continuing to chip away for so long, maybe they got a little impatient and took too big of a bite this time, and then we can flip it and go after some other NFA stuff if after the lawsuits we are found in favor. So one thing I want to mention before this video is over is they have not stopped and they will not stop. This is the domino effect. They will continue to work at this and chip at this until they get what they want. So continue to fight back and have a plan. Be prepared. I hope this video was able to help you and make a better decision for you and your family to decide what you should do and what is best for you. If you'd like to help out the channel, the things I do here, there's a couple ways to do that. In the description are some discount codes from companies that I trust that you can use to save some money, and there's a link to my link tree. From there, links for like Premier Body Armor, Primary Arms, anything you purchase using those links does help support the channel, and I appreciate that. A couple of supporters of the channel are Howitzer, Brownells, and Hold Up Display. Howitzer is a clothing brand that donates 5% of proceeds to charity, and they help me collaborate with these shirts, and here's a video of me modeling them with my brother. And if you would like to pick one up, I would love to see you guys wearing these, and it does help the channel out and the things I do here. Brownells is a company that supports me a ton. You can use code TA10 and save 10% on orders under $50 or more, and I could not do anything without them. They are a great group of people. And then Hold Up Displays is the racks behind me to make these awesome mounts and really made this vault room blow up. So excited about that, and thank you to them, and I appreciate you all. Have a great day.